Hello, collective. It's your 1111 coach here, Tiffany Satchel, aka Mystique. Thanks for joining me for another 1111 divination coaching session. Let me get the sage going. Okay. I pray that you and yours be blessed beyond your wildest dreams for all of eternity. Remember, collective, when you tap in with Tiffany for your 1111 divination coaching, my intention is to share information with you all that will purposefully shift you from being a muggle-minded follower to a free thinking mage, if you desire, because I believe we all deserve healthy physical bodies housing our beautiful spirits, multiple streams of ridiculously enormous and consistent income that fulfills all of our needs and desires, relationships that are pleasurable and love-based, and a heavenly work that makes us feel whole and satisfies our deepest passions. And I hope I can make you a believer too. Okay, so today is Sunday, and I wanted to do a psalm card reading. You know, I wish I could be more consistent. It's a little hard because of the schedule that I have at work. And then I have, like, right now I have my grandson in here with me. And you know, he has to sleep out of bed with me. It is about 5:30 a.m. It's Sunday morning. And I took my shower and now I'm meditating. The only time I can take a shower is when he goes to sleep or he's coming in that bathroom with me. You guys know how it is when you have a baby, right? He's 3. I made sure I changed his pamper while he's asleep. He's being potty trained. He's pretty good, but I just didn't want him to wake up and be like, oh, you know, trying to distract me. He should sleep for a little while, though. I'm going to make him some oatmeal. I'm just smoking out the cards with this Divine Power incense before I do this reading. Okay. Let me put the incense up. Okay. All right. So, first thing I want to do is I want to read the protection prayer that they tell you to read. They say read this before you do any, whether you're going to use this as an oracle, whether you're going to do a reading with it, you should read this particular protection psalm. And and on my previous videos I told you guys what happened with me when I thought I was just going to do my own little prayer. And I did not like the outcome of that reading. So we will never be doing that again. We're going to follow the directions of the book. It's good to read the direction. Before you do anything, we should be reading the directions, okay? Because had I not read the directions, I might not have been handling these cards properly, you know? Okay, so his fidelity is an encircling shield. Leave all to the Lord. Trust in him. He will do it. May the words of my mouth and the prayer of my heart be acceptable to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. O you who dwell in the shelter of the Most High and abide in the protection of Shaddai. I say of the Lord, my refuge and stronghold, my God in whom I trust, that he will save you from the fowler's trap, from the destructive plague. He will cover you with his pinions. You will find refuge under his wings. His fidelity is an encircling shield. You need not fear the terror by night, or the arrow that flies by day, the plague that stalks in the darkness, or the scourge that ravages at noon. 1,000 may fall at your left side, 10,000 at your right, but it shall not reach you. You will see it with your eyes. You will witness the punishment of the wicked. Because you took the Lord my refuge, the Most High, as your haven, no harm will befall you, no disease touch your tent. For he will order his angels to guard you wherever you go. They will carry you in their hands, lest you hurt your foot on a stone. You will tread on cubs and vipers. You will trample lions and asps. Because he is devoted to me, I will deliver him. I will keep him safe, for he knows my name. When he calls on me, I will answer him. I will be with him in distress. I will rescue him and make him honored. I will let him live to a ripe old age and show him my salvation. Okay. Thank you. All right, so today is Sunday. So we are on the energy. We're on the vibration of the sun. That's why I got the sun card out. This is the vibration that we're on. Okay. So let's get some pre-messages. See what any pre-messages that the Psalms wants to give to us. Might have for us. Any card's gonna fall out. Oh, that one almost bent up. Just a second, guys. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. Let's see how many we get. I'll take 3. 3 is nice. The spread is 7 cards, so that means if I get 3, at least 3 pre-messages, that'll be 10 cards. Nice. 10 different Psalms that we touch on. Okay, here we go. All right, so the first one is Psalms 92:13. The second one, I think that we had this one before. Did we? I can't remember. Wait a minute. This picture looks a little similar. Maybe we didn't have any of these. Okay. Psalms 8 and 7. No, we didn't see that one. It's a weird picture though, right? Can you guys see that good? Okay. Let's go to Psalms 92 and 13. Okay. This says, you have the means. Okay. The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Are you righteous? The truly righteous surrender to serve. They consciously surrender themselves to the divine, the light within, for the purpose of serving the divine. That is, working for the divine. Oh, I like that. Like the date palm, they possess the necessary means to carry out their work. The principal work of the date palm is to produce fruit, dates. Its flowers provide the means. The male flowers pollinate the female, and a third of the female flowers develop and ripen into edible dates. And the Agadah, that's a rabbinic lore. Aaron, David, Isaac, Moses, Rebecca, and the Messiah are compared to the date palm. So you're in good company. Surrender to serve and know that you will have the means to complete your work in the world. Okay, so I like this because now I did my own reading last Sunday. I recorded it, but I didn't post it up. I actually decided I wasn't gonna post it up because it was so personal. But actually I had got this card. Now that I remember. I remember I got this card, and it's interesting because there's a lot of YouTubers on, a lot of tarot readers on YouTube that I like to watch. And one of the tarot readers, what she said was, when you go to work, you work for God. So this is the mentality that we should have. So when you go out and you're serving people it should be as if it should be, well, you want to impress upon your mind, impress upon your subconsciousness that God has sent you. So whether you work for yourself or whether you work for someone else, right? You work for a company. I work for a huge company, a very, very, very big gas station / convenience store. All right. It's from, it's all over. Okay. It's nationwide. Okay. And even though you might work for a huge company or a small company, no matter what company that you work for, it would you would benefit more. You would benefit more from having a mentality or impressing upon your subconscious mind that you are in this company because God put you in this company. Your presence will be blessed and you'll walk in favor in your whatever position that you're in. I don't care what position that you're in, even if you are the one that's taking out the garbage and sweeping and mopping the floors. And I like that. And then she posted a video today, and what she said was, when you show up to work, it should be, God sent me. God sent me. God has sent me. And it shouldn't, like, you don't need to be concerned with what other people are thinking or how other people are feeling. The impression that you are placing on your subconscious mind is that you are on a mission from God. You're on a mission from God. So I just think that I mean, I've been practicing that all week, and this was not the first time that I ever heard this. It was just the first time that I feel that I actually used it, because I've heard that teaching before. I've heard that lesson before, like years ago, but I never used it. I just took it in. But this week I actually used it. I work for God, and everything was different. Now, of course, I had some difficulties this week as well, because I had to learn some lessons. But things didn't go as bad for me as it went for some other people, because I'm in favor. So I just wanted to share that. That was interesting that this card came out and brought, because I wasn't even going to talk about that at all, because that's what I've been practicing. For the past week, I've been at work. I'm at work, but I'm not here working for this particular company. I'm here working for God. God sent me. So you might want to try that. God sent you. Just keep telling yourself that. Like, you're in this company, and because God sent you to this company. This is why you have this position. Because God gave you this position. Not just blessed you with a job, but you're here in this particular company doing the work of the Lord. Your service is to the divine one. You're doing the work of God. And it doesn't matter what religion that you practice. No matter what religion that you practice. Whether you practice Christianity, Islam, Judaism, I don't even know what religion is. Catholicism, right? Hinduism, doesn't matter what religion that you practice. God sent you. Okay, so now let's go to Psalms 8 and 7. I like this. You can do anything, anything. You have made him master over your handiwork, laying the world at his feet. Nice. So you see that picture? You see that picture? Laying the world at his feet. Okay. You are infinite possibility because you are the child of the infinite possibility. Know that infinite possibility fills and surrounds you. At any moment, you can reach out for what you desire, embracing it, living it, purging the word impossibility from your vocabulary is a necessary step in your journey from the realm of the finite to that of the infinite, of the finite to that of the infinite. All right, so purging the word impossibility. So all things are possible through Christ who strengthens me. Now, if you're not a Christian, you're not going to understand what that means, right? Unless you have adopted the Christ consciousness, which many has. So then you know that Christ is an example, was an example of how we could show up in the world, right? No matter what religion that you practice, okay? So if you say all things, right, are possible for me through Christ that strengthens me, all right? So that means that you're tapping into your super consciousness, right? So you have a subconsciousness, you have a consciousness, and then you have a super consciousness. That is your higher and wiser self. That is your God mind, your Christ consciousness, your super consciousness. When you are in your super consciousness, nothing is impossible. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. That's why this is titled, You Can Do Anything, Anything. But you have to purge the word impossibility. So nothing, you have to purge the word impossibility from your vocabulary. Because all things are possible. There's nothing that you can't be, do, have, or go. It's you that will be holding you back. Let me finish reading. If you remain oblivious to your true identity, you will never reach out fully, and all of your unfulfilled desires and unlived experiences will linger on, waiting for your next incarnation. The evolution of the soul occurs over the course of many incarnations, typically. The corresponding Kabbalistic term for reincarnation, which is translated as rolling soul. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the word, guys. I'm sorry. Rolling soul. If necessary, the soul rolls into one body then another to complete its work. Okay. I'm not that good with reincarnation and soul returns and all of that. I'm not really into that, to be honest with you. I'm more into the right now. I'm not even really into dimensions. To be honest with you, I'm not I never really wanted to astral travel or do any of those things, any of that type of spiritual work. The only reason why I even learn about dimensions or study dimensions, is because I believe in the invisible realm. And I know that it's the invisible realm that's more, that's more powerful than the physical realm, right? I'm more one of those people that is more concerned with the thing with getting through this life, right? I want to get through this life. I want to get through this life. What I want to say, let me articulate my words so I could express myself better. I want to navigate through this life and co-create with the divine the best experiences for myself. All right, learning the lessons that I'm supposed to learn. For me, astral traveling, which I've done it before, and I didn't really like it because I really got myself into some stuff that I didn't and I did it unknowingly. It was not something that I purposed to do. I was meditating and didn't realize that I was astral traveling. And whatever realm that I had ventured into, they kicked my ass smooth out of there. Okay? Smooth out. And they immediately, as soon as I got into that, they were like, "What are you doing here?" And kicked me out. And I said, from that point on, I said, look, I was like, I didn't realize. I found out later that I had astral traveled, you know, and I was in wherever I was, I did not belong. And, or wasn't, you know, they didn't want me there. And all I was doing was sitting and meditating. I didn't realize, you know, what I was doing. And I said, you know what? I was like, I don't think I want to do that type of stuff. I don't think I want to astral travel. I think what I want to do is I want to learn how to live my best life in this dimension, because this is the dimension that I live in, right? I got my grandson here, guys. This is the dimension that I live in, so I might as well learn how to master this dimension before I start venturing into other dimensions. So from that point on, like, astral traveling just have not been one of my one of the top things on my list to conquer. Okay? But adapting the mindset or impression upon your subconscious mind that that all things are possible for you makes you unstoppable. Like, if you know that you have a relationship with the divine one and you know that you are divinely protected. I've been in situations where women have tried to come up to me and try to fight me, and they couldn't even, if they came within a certain spot, they like, we all, people could see them getting pushed back. It was only but so close that they could get to me. My son has witnessed it. Like, my son, I remember one time I was at a bus stop, and, you know, it was this I had an issue. I was seeing this guy, and I didn't know that he was married. And I broke it off with him, but his wife was still upset. So when she saw me, you know, she was like trying to humiliate me. And I'm like, I'm not even with your husband anymore. Like, I didn't know that he was married. Like, you're mad at me. Like, I didn't know the guy was married. And he didn't even look like marriage material, to be honest with you. Like, it was just like crazy. So I'm downtown, and I live in New Jersey. I'm downtown in Newark. I'm at the bus stop with my son. And she's trying to run up on me. And every time she get within a certain closeness to me, you could see her getting knocked back. I'm sure she remembered that. I'm sure she remembers that. I'm sure every time. She did about 3 or 4 times, then she just stopped. She just stopped. And I know she was like, what the hell is this? And I watched her, and I said, so that's why it's important for you to feel, you know, divinely. You need to adapt the mindset that you are divinely protected, because you got some crazy people out here. Could you imagine someone being so angry with you about something that a female being so... Some of these women, I don't understand. I'm like, why are you mad at the female? I'm not throwing myself at your husband. Your husband is coming at me. You know, it's crazy. I could never. I could understand if I knew her, or if I knew that he was married and I was throwing myself at him. That I could understand. I could understand somebody getting, you know, a female getting violent, you know, and getting upset because of something like that. But if anything, you should be upset with your husband. But that was years and years. I mean, that was like, how old is my son? My son is 25 now. Maybe he was, maybe that was about 17 years ago. About 17 years ago, I believe. Okay. So now let's read Psalms 102 and 7. Okay. This says, you feel left behind. Okay. And we have an owl on here. I don't know what else. It looks like this owl is on a chimney or something. Let me see. Let me let you guys see the picture. You feel left behind. What is that? Is that... I don't know what that is in the background. But I'm going to let you guys see the picture. Okay. I am like a great owl in the wilderness, an owl among the ruins. Everyone else has gone on to bigger and better things, you tell yourself. You notice how much has changed and recall the past fondly and vividly, which haunts you. Stop comparing your journey to that of others. Your path is not theirs. You have remained behind for a compelling reason, to help you realize what more you must do or learn. State aloud this intention before going to sleep. Knower and mover of all, speak to me through my dreams as you spoke to Joseph. Reveal what I must do to realize my purpose. I'll make sure that I post this up on my community board, okay? Such an intention is known. Let me repeat it. Knower and mover of all, speak to me through my dreams as you spoke to Joseph. Reveal what I must do to realize my purpose. Such an intention is known as a dream request. To discern the divine's will, mystics sometimes spend the night at a sacred spot, such as the grave of a well-known saint, where they make a dream request. When the time comes for you to move on, you will know it, and you will be carried swiftly to your next destination. Oh, okay. You feel left behind. So that means that some of us feel that we are not living our divine life purpose. And that's cool, because now we just got the antidote for that. I don't know. Maybe I'm not fully in my purpose. It feels like it. One way that you know that you are living in your purpose is when you are getting attacked, right? Like, all right, so like the job that I work, right? People have been trying to get me fired since I started there. Nothing has worked. As a matter of fact, some of them have gotten fired, trying to get me fired. So that's how I know that I belong in this company. Now, if something changes, now at any time now, if God has placed me in this position, that means that at any time God could say, "Oh, you're getting a promotion," which means that you're going to have a new position, or you're going to go to a new company. I'm transferring you over to this company, you know, because I work for God. So I will also be practicing that prayer, and I'll make sure I'll take a picture of this. Matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll let you guys just in case if you don't want to go on my community board. All right, there's a... Sorry about that darkness right there. That's because that's the bar that's holding up my my phone. But if you want to take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot, pause, take a screenshot, and I'll make sure that I put this exact picture on my community board. Okay? And you can take a screenshot of that without the without the shadow. Okay. All right, so that was nice. All right, so now I'm going to shuffle the cards a little bit more. And then we'll do the 7 card spread. All right, so we're 30 minutes into this reading. Probably will be about an hour long. Not bad. So this is a way, if you don't, this is a way for us to study the Bible, right? Weekly. We'll study Psalms weekly. To heal our minds. So let me explain to you what the Psalms are if you didn't know, right? So the Psalms are basically prayers, right? Written by soldiers that were captives of war. All right. They had relationships with God, with the divine one. And these were their prayers. The Psalms are their prayers, right? So when we read these Psalms, right, in the Psalms, they're talking about the enemy. These are the people, the captors, right? These are the ones that are oppressing the captives, okay? Or the soldiers that were caught during war. So when they're talking about the enemy, we have to look at it from a spiritual aspect. So what is an enemy? An enemy is anything that goes against the will and plan of God. Right? That's an enemy. That's an enemy, right? If we look at it from a spiritual aspect, right? So in the natural world, right, an enemy is anyone that is not on your side. That's your enemy. That's your opponent. Right? They're against you. Either they're for you or they're against you. Now, if you're looking at it from a spiritual aspect, right? And you say, what is an enemy? An enemy is anything that goes against the will or purpose of God. Right? Everything starts in the invisible realm and then manifests in the physical realm. So before you see your enemy in the physical realm, it has already been created in the mental realm. So what the Psalms does, it helps you to correct your thinking. That's why we read Psalms. So the enemy that you see in your physical realm has manifested or is showing up because there is something going on in your mental realm. Okay? Now, if you are someone who is walking in peace, right, and you are still encountering so-called enemies in the physical world, that is spiritual warfare. That's something totally different than what I'm talking about. Now, we are going through spiritual warfare even within ourselves, right? But there's other stuff that's going on. I mean, even if you might not have enemies, you might not have enemies with people like regular enemies. Sometimes you got enemies with they entities. These is entities. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the enemies that we created ourselves. The enemies that we created on our own through our own thinking. That's what when we read the Psalms, that's what we help to heal. We help to transmute that energy. All right. So you figure in the mental realm, when you have these type of discords, right? In your mental realm that goes against the goes against the divine's will, that is energy that's trapped. It's trapped energy, right? And anything that's trapped wants to be released. So if you can transmute those negative thought patterns, right, heal them, which is something that we use EFT for, emotional freedom technique, right? So when I'm working with a client or even with myself, I have to trigger myself. That's why a lot of times when I do EFT, I do it a lot when I'm angry, or right in the moment is the best time to do it. Like like when you're having like the episode, or you're having like the anger, like like the angry moment, or the depression, or whatever it is, whatever low vibrating emotion that shows up. If you could be right in the moment with it, then you can shift the energy, transmute it. That's the whole point. Take the negative charge off. And that's what we in Psalms does. So the enemy, you attack this enemy that is within your thought patterns before it can manifest in your physical world and start to do more damage. Because once it's manifested in the physical world, now not only are you battling it internally, but you also battling it in your physical world. That's why it's important to read Psalms regularly. Okay. Now we are going to do this 7-card spread. Ooh. Sorry about that. Okay, I think that's shuffled enough. All right, let me cut. What's that? Psalms 90:17. Let's read that really fast. That'll be the last one outside. Okay. Surrender so the light within can work through you. Oh, I like this. See? Surrender so the light within can work through you. May the favor of the Lord our God be upon us. Let the work of our hands prosper. Oh, prosper the work of our hands. See, all of these Psalms, all 4 of these Psalms that we read have all been about work. So something's going on with us in our careers. Oh, of course it's all about work. Today is Sunday, and this is sun, the vibration of the sun is all about your career, your and being successful. Archangel Michael helps you with your career. Oh, that's no wonder. See how this is all correspondences. Okay. The light within continually seeks to live through us as fully as possible. Our primary responsibility to this blessed light is to surrender to it. There we go. We heard that word surrender in 3 different Psalms. By doing so, we step aside so that it can manifest or realize itself through us. Clinging to the perception that we are individual selves, separate from the divine and one another, frustrates the light's manifestation. The Christian scriptures tell us that before the Romans arrested Jesus, he prayed, "Not my will, but thine will be done." Not my will, but thine be done. Surrendering your will to the divine's will is known as, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, guys. Pray this prayer of surrender. Light within, I surrender your given name to you. Oh, Light Within, I Surrender Tiffany to You. Okay, so I'll make sure I post this one too. So that was 9017. I just have to go back through the video. That's what I was going to do anyway. So 9017 and the other one, I should have wrote it down, but I'll just go back through the this video and find it. Okay. All right, so now let me cut 3. All right. There we go. Let's see what our message is for today. 1. Oops. 2. Make sure the whole thing is in there. All right. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Okay. All right. Okay. So here's the first one. This one represents the past. Oh, wow. We just read that one. Ha ha. All right. That's funny. It came out again. This must be an important one. You can do anything. Anything. You have made him master over your handiwork, laying the world at his feet. So this one is about purging the word impossibility from your vocabulary so that you can impress upon your subconscious mind that your possibilities are infinite. And you can do anything. Anything. Okay? Now, oh, they all came out again? Psalms 102 and 7. This right here, oh, so those 3, the present. Dang. This was the first one. This is past. This is present. Now, this was the last one that we did. Okay. I believe that. All right, so let me see. That was 9017. I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to put this up on the community board, and let me see, Psalms 102. You know, that's not very common for it to come out like that. Yeah, so this is about, so right now, all right, so this was in the past. All right, so collectively in the past, I wonder why that came up in the past. Let's think about that. So what I'm assuming is that collectively, we already believe that we can do all things. We already believe in infinite possibilities. We already believe that we have infinite potential. Collectively, we already know this. Now, we are going to learn what our purpose is. This is knower and mover of all. Speak to me through my dreams as you spoke to Joseph. Reveal what I must do to realize my purpose. Okay, so this is where we are now. Presently, collectively, we will learn what our true divine purpose is, life purpose is. So now here's the future. And this is what we're going to move into in the future. Psalms 23 and 4. I'm going to make sure I post those up on my community board, guys, if you want to check it out. Those are the 2 old ones that we used. Okay. You've seen better days. Though I walk through a valley of deepest darkness, I fear no harm. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. That is The shepherd, right? The Lord's Prayer. No, what is that? I forgot what that Psalms is. Where my Bible at? That's Psalms 23. I forgot what that's called. Hold up, guys. You know I keep my Bible on deck. Got the Bible on deck. Just like keeping my gun next to my bed. You know how people keep a gun next to their bed? I keep me a Bible next to me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Lord is my shepherd. That's the shepherd's prayer. That's what I thought it was. Okay. I think my grandson gave me his little, I need to detox now. All right. You've never found yourself in a situation like this, and you're scared, very scared. You don't know what to do or where to go. And at least for the time being, there's no one to ask. Thick darkness surrounds you. Your circumstances are eerily similar to the so-called dead who are in the process of journaling from our world. The light of lights can illuminate the path you should take. Kneel down right now and call out for help and ask to be led. What do you have to lose? All right. So what I'm getting from this is that collectively we might go through something where we're going to need some support, where we're going to need support from the divine one. So we should start reading Psalms 23 right now. That's a Psalms that we should probably read right now, so that then when in the future, if anything occurs, we will already be equipped and prepared. Like I said, guys, it's important to do protection work. Protection work right now is so important. During the full moon, do as much protection work as you possibly can. Use this energy to protect yourself. All right? Because it's some stuff going on in this world that we just can't see. That we can't see. And you need to prepare yourself ahead of time. Let me turn that off, because I like to keep stuff. You hear that's Teal Swan that you hear in the background. I like to listen to some of her stuff. Okay, turn that down. Okay. Ooh, this is a little eerie. That's in the future. It said you've seen better days. That was a little scary. Now, all you got to do is just read your Psalms. So that's your clue right there. Read Psalms 23 because we don't know what the future holds. But I could say this, that if you're reading your Psalms, you actually could create a whole nother scenario. This is why I like to use tarot, because it helps you. It gives you pictures of the energies that are surrounding you, and you get to create your own picture. That's why I like tarot and symbolism, because you get to create a picture and you get to change things. As long as you are lining up with the will of the divine, you get to change things. This is why it's saying nothing is impossible. All things are possible. Because we don't know what we're going to run into. We don't know. Anything could happen. Okay, so now we're going to number 4. Oh, we had this one before, I believe. Psalms 144 and 13. This represents the influence of the person about whom is that the question is being asked. So this is our influence. This is the influence that we have over this situation. Whatever is unfolding for us collectively, this is the influence that we have. Let me see. Psalms 144 and 13. The glass is more than half full. Oh, all right. So see, this is the influence that we have. Our storehouses are full, supplying produce of all kinds. Our flocks number thousands, even myriads in our fields. Far too often, we can't or won't see the fullness in our lives. If a homeless person who has a right to clothing, food, and shelter can be grateful for partially eating pizza retrieved from a garbage can, we can be grateful for what we have, which in comparison is nothing short of plenty. Keep doing what you're doing. You're about to step into abundance unlike anything that you've experienced to date. This is your influence, all right? You deserve it. Enjoy. Be grateful. Above all, share. Okay. When a person sees that his or her livelihood is barely sufficient, he or she should nevertheless give charity out of it, and all the more so if it is plentiful. Soon after the money starts rolling in, roll the dice. Give to the poorest or the poor whatever number shows up. 1, 2, 3, 10, 7, 12% of your paycheck. Remember, if possible, give anonymously. Okay, so this is your influence. Give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, will men give over into your bosom. So this is Old Testament teaching, right? Because this is the Psalms anyway. So this is Old Testament teaching. If you give 10% of your income, right, a tithe, right, a tithe of your income to, let's see, whoever's spiritually feeding you, right? If you give, right, it's like an energy exchange, right? So whoever you feel that you have received some type of spiritual knowledge or blessing from, if you give them 10% of your income, or just an offering, right? But if you give them 10%, then you will never, ever, ever be broke. Money will always just show up in your experience. You'll never have financial problems. Now, it depends on where you're. Now, some people tithe and they still have financial struggles. Why? Because they're not practicing good financial habits. They have a lack mindset. So it's a lot of things that come, that come into that, Now, I guarantee you that they probably still have financial issues, but they still have some type of favor because they tithe, but they still struggling financially because they haven't healed their mind and they haven't practiced good works. So that's something for you to think about. All right. If you know that something might occur. All right. When you give 10%, hold up. Let me pull out something because I wanna help with that. This is about tithing. That scripture is about tithing, and there is a teaching in Kabbalah actually about that, and it talks about. I'm just pulling my book out. It talks about tithing to actually take away some of the darkness in our life, right? When you tithe, you actually can add more light to your life. Let me see something here. I'm gonna find that for you guys and share this. Dang, get open right up, silent partner. And you know what? I was thinking about that too. I was actually thinking about that, and then I said nah, because I didn't want to push that. And then it still showed up in the reading. That is interesting. Wow. All right, silent partner. So everyone who comes into this world must choose a silent partner. The dark force or the light of the creator. Take your pick, okay? There are two kinds of wealth, spiritual and physical. How these spiritual and material assets get divvied up depends upon which silent partner we choose. After all, every partner wants a piece of the action. If we choose the dark force as our silent partner, it will allow us to keep 100% of our material wealth, but it demands 90% of our spiritual light, of which it then tithes 10% back to us in the form of momentary gratification. The dark force then uses the remaining 90% of the light to strengthen itself and wreak havoc in the world and in our personal lives. Wow. Now, if we choose the light as our silent partner, we keep 100% of the light and 90% of the physical wealth. All we must do is tithe 10% back to the light in the form of charity. Okay? The concept of tithing, or giving away 10% of our earnings, is also designed to remove the dark force's influence from our lives. If the negative force remains attached to our financial sustenance, eventually its influence will wither away our good fortune. Tithing 10% of our income does not diminish our well-being. On the contrary, it brings greater prosperity and joy in every area of our lives. The silent partner effect means that we always have one side or the other with us. The choice is yours. So here's the meditation. Tithing and meditation removes the dark force's presence from your earnings and its destructive influence from your life. The light is now your silent partner, bringing you endless blessings and protection. It's a partnership made in heaven. I'll post this up on my I'll post this up on there too. So we'll have 3. So you're going to have to scroll over because I'm probably going to put them all on one, in one post. This is going to be, I put all the pictures in one post. All right. So we'll have 3 pictures. We'll have, God Name 102. And then these other 2 Psalms. Okay. All right. So now let's go to the influence of our enemies. Oh, look at the teeth. I forgot about this one. I remember we got this one before too. I think this is talking about breaking the teeth of your enemies. Okay. Live in truth. Rise, O Lord. Deliver me, O my God. For you slap all my enemies in the face. You break the teeth of the wicked. And I heard confirmation. So listen, this is what's getting ready to happen to your enemy. So make sure that you do some protection work. All right. Commit to memory Isaiah 54:17. Read Psalms 23. Okay. So you're going to commit to memory Isaiah 54:17. Read Psalms 23. And make sure that you tithe 10% of your income. All right. And this is what's going to happen to your enemies. The only thing I'm saying is, it might not look like that, but this is what God going to do to them. All right. The wicked are known for their false smiles, which conceal well-crafted lies. Such people hate truth because they know that they can't prevail against it, ever. Know that truth is light, a ray of light. Every single thing, animate and inanimate, contains a drop of light that is in the process of returning to the ocean of light. Kabbalists refer to the drop as... I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, guys, all right? The drop as the ocean, and the return, or the desire for the return. And I cannot. All right, so simply put, you are this drop of light, which means you are the ocean of light, but not in its totality. Be honest in your affairs so that you can step into yourself, into the light within. Its innumerable ways will shine through you, uncovering and breaking apart the lies of those who deceive. Okay? So that's what's going to happen to you. So what'll happen, so we're not wishing bad stuff, right? We're not wishing terrible things on our enemies. But those that try to deceive us and that try to disgrace us and that try to humiliate us and that want to do, mean and nasty things to us, we do want them to be exposed. So something that I always say, something that I always ask the divine to do for me, my angels, my ancestors to do for me, is to reveal my open and hidden enemies, to reveal and disarm my open and hidden enemies. Why? I want to know who my open and hidden enemies are, and I want them rendered incapable of doing me any harm. So if they are disarmed, so that they can do me no harm, and they are revealed to me, then I know who they are. I already know that they can't. I've already rendered them harmless towards me because I told the divine to disarm them. So they said they're basically, they could do nothing to me because that's what is programmed in my aura field. That's the way I'm programmed. Now, at the same time, I can't be walking around trying to do harm to people either. I think that's where people get mixed up. They, it's like they think that they're going to be able to have this power over people, and people can't be destructive to you, but you could be destructive to them. No, it doesn't work like that. That's called karma. It's going to come back. And it's not going to be nice. It's going to be just how you was. Sure. That's called negative karma. Bad karma. Not good karma. It's bad karma. Okay. Let's check this one out. Now, I don't know why it's over there reversed, but we'll see if it should be reversed. We read it. Okay. All right. Now, that position is the influence of the environment. All right. So this spread is similar to a Celtic cross. All right. It just looks different. It's meant to look like the seal of Solomon. All right. Like if you took it and, let me just show you. This is how the spread looks. If you see, that's the seal of Solomon. Okay. That's what it's meant to look like. Okay, what we at? 110 verse 4. All right, so this is what's going on in environment. Let your priestly self emerge. The Lord has sworn and will not relent. You are a priest forever after the manner of Melchizedek. All right, so Melchizedek was a priest, right, of the Old Testament, and he brought tithes. He brought tithes to, I think Solomon. No, he brought tithes. Let me see. Where's my tablet? Melchizedek. He brought tithes to one of the one of the kings. Okay, and it was said that he was actually Christ. He was Christ before Christ had manifested in the New Testament. Who did Melchizedek bring tithes to? Melchizedek. Oh, 1 second. Well, they have represent. Okay, bring tithes to. Bring tithes to. Oh, wow, that's tithes. Yeah, that's right. He was the first one to pay tithes. Melchizedek, who appears in the Old Testament, is important in biblical tradition because he was both the king and a priest connected with Jerusalem and revered by Abraham, who paid a tithe to him. Abraham paid him a tithe. Okay, so this was Christ. This was Christ before Christ was born in the New Testament. And king, all right, so he was the first one to actually bring tithes. Dang, this is coming up again. Tithing is coming up again in this spread. This is very important, guys. This is very important. The divine one wants us to tithe. And I'm imagining the reason why we are being called to tithe collective is so that we can remove some of the darkness off of our finances. Make sure that you give 10%. You know, you give 10%. I would say if you're going to give 10%, I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but if I'm going to give 10% of my income, I'm going to give it to I want to give it to something that I would consider good soil, like someone who is who is feeding me spiritually, or someone who is helping people. Look at that. Someone who is helping people, who I know that is helping people, such as the Children's Hospital. Was it St. Jude's? I know that they're helping children and they're helping families. You know, those families of those children don't even have to, they don't spend any money. They need those tithes. So if you want to tithe, send it to them. That's just my suggestion. All right. Let's read this. The sacred scriptures of the world, even if particular peoples cherish them as their own special inheritance or possession, belong to humanity because they emanate from the same source. In the Hebrew Bible, the book of Exodus, the divine encourages us to envision ourselves as evolved, transformed beings, which is our destiny. You shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. Exodus 19:6. Indeed, each of us is an emerging priest or priestess. The Hebrew word for priest is related to the verb kahan, which means to link. At all times and in all places, the priest or priestesses has one foot on earth and one in heaven. Oh, just like on the temperance card, Archangel Michael. That's what he's depicting. One hand on earth, one foot on earth and one foot in the water. Interesting. One foot on earth and one foot in heaven. So he or she can serve as a link, a facilitator of communication between the seen and the unseen worlds. Yes, standing in the gap. That's what Christ stands. That's what Christ does for us. Stands in the gap between life and death, so that we can have eternal life. The divine is calling you to be a priest or priestess in this life. Relax. You don't have to stop what you're doing. Instead, cultivate your spirituality with the intention of exploring the non-material universe and teaching others to do the same. You will discover that you're a natural-born explorer and teacher. Aw, some of you guys should start a YouTube channel and share your spirituality and how you and how you process and practice, your spiritual journey. That's what I'm getting from that. Some of you guys need to start a YouTube channel, because I'm already doing this. I'm already sharing. So some of you guys that are watching me probably need to do that. Probably would benefit from starting a YouTube channel or starting some type of blog or video, video vlog, where you are sharing your spiritual journey. Okay. All right. So this is the outcome. 107.40. This is the outcome of our reading. What time is it? Oh, a little bit over an hour. Okay, that's not bad. Let yourself wander. He pours contempt on great men and makes them lose their way in trackless deserts. Material success translates into material pleasure, as it should. A steady flow of amenities, however, can make us resistant to change and insensitive to the needs of others, which inhibits our spiritual growth. To free us from such complacency and ignorance, the divine forces us beyond our comfort zone so we can experience life from a different perspective. The unfamiliar has eclipsed the familiar in your life, and you have lost your bearings. Believe it or not, you are supposed to wander right now. For the first time in a long time, you are more aware of yourself and those around you. Ask yourself, how can I be of service to my fellow beings? How can I ease their sufferings? These questions will invite infinite compassion to help to well up within you. So all of this is connected. So the divine here's so here's what I see, right? We want to make sure that we believe that we can do all things. We want to make sure that we believe that the divine one has blessed us, or we have access to infinite potential and infinite possibilities through the divine, right? That's number one. Number two, we have to tithe 10% of our material wealth so that we can remove darkness from our finances, right? Because something's going on with our finances over here collectively. That's one. That's two. Number three, some of us are getting ready to find out what our divine purpose is, right? Number four, some of us are being called to teach and share how we process our spiritual journey and experiences. Okay? We also need to protect ourselves. Okay, guys. Well, that's our message for today. All right? That's our message for today. Read Psalms 23. Commit Isaiah 54:17 to your memory. Decide where you are going to give 10% of your income. Whether you're going to give it to someone who has fed you with spiritual knowledge. Whether you're going to give it away to someone who you feel is less fortunate, who might benefit from it. Or maybe you want to give it to, to a reputable charity like St. Jude's Hospital. Do some protection work. That's why I said to commit Isaiah 54 verse 17 to memory. Okay. This concludes our 11:11 divination coaching. I hope that you enjoyed this psalm spread as much as I have. If you have not subscribed, then please subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss any future uploads. Also, if you did enjoy this video, then please give it a thumbs up so that others will be notified of this message that might benefit. I'm just amazed right now. I'm amazed at the synchronicity in this message. How the cards came out in the beginning of, before I even did the spread, how those two cards came out, and then the overall theme, how they meshed together. Wow. Okay, so if no one has told you this, collective, let me be the first to say I love you. I love you with that agape kind of love. Please forgive me. Forgive yourself. I'm sorry. And thank you. I'll see you in the next vid. Peace.